Hello, I'm John, I'm the Warhammer Modeler, and this is another request video. I had a question, I think it was last week, about head removals from models where the head is part of the actual sculpt itself. So I've got this Chaos Space Marine. I haven't glued the breastplate down, so I can take that off, and you can see what I'm talking about, where you've got the head itself is part of the sculpt, so you can see it doesn't move or anything like that, but we want to swap this out for something else. So first things first, my tool of choice is my Swan Morton number 3 handle with a 10A blade. I've used these for years. They're my favourite scalpel for all aspects of model making. Obviously there are lots of other different scalpels out there, but this is my go-to tool for pretty much everything. So I've got 2 replacement heads which we'll have a look at when I've taken off this head. I'm just going to move these bits to the side. There's 2 ways you can go about trying to remove these heads. There's the difficult way, which tries to save as much of the head as possible so you could use it on another project. Or if you're not worried about losing the head, it becomes a lot easier as you can trim bits back and so on. So what I'm actually going to do is trim off the horns from this helmet, shave back the detail that's at the front of the head, and then see what else I need to remove. So I'm going to get started. The key thing with any scalpel when you're doing it is do it bit by bit. If you're putting a lot of pressure onto something, you're using the wrong tool, you could break the blade and hurt yourself. So I'm going to get started by I'm not going to worry about saving this head. So what I'm going to do is start gently slicing down. And I'm just going to shave this off bit by bit. The key thing with this is take your time. You could use a razor saw if you had one and cut a large section off in one go, but I'm just going to do this bit by bit with my scalpel. Most of the time when you start in the hobby, you might only have a scalpel or a Stanley knife, but please be careful when you do this, as you just want to take your time. The other thing, make sure you keep your area clean while you're working. The last thing you want is a big mess and not being able to find what you're working on. So as you can see, it started to get easier to shave these sections off. So currently I've now taken the whole front off here. If I get that breastplate back again and put it in place, you can see we're removing quite a bit of that head there. We've still got some to take away. So now I'm going to start working on the back section just here. Now, this has some moulded detail in it. So you can see how the collar goes up at the back and then down, and it's got a few points. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting with this to keep the pattern in place. So I don't want to put too much pressure on it. If you find that you've got to put a lot of pressure, like I was just then I need to take a bit more of the material away to be able to do this. So to do that, I'm just going to gently shave a bit more away, and then you can see that that's cut away a lot easier. But I'm still taking my time. You never want to bring the blade towards you either. Just gently shaving that away. You might find a block of wood is quite useful in this situation. Actually, I'm going to go get a block of wood to show you. I've got a block of wood here, just a bit of scrap plywood, but I'm actually going to position this on the edge of the plywood and hopefully this will help me cut away a bit more of this model. And it is. So this is letting me shave away those bits nice and easily. Now what I'm looking to do, you can see on the back of the collar how I've cut that away, so I haven't lost too much shape on that collar. I need to clear a lot of this away. So if you see when I put that breastplate back on, we want to keep the rim going all the way around, but we want to get rid of this middle piece. So the easiest way we can do this is to start cutting this out and gently scooping down as we do so. What I am going to do first though, using this block of wood again, I'm going to cut this section diagonally in. But by using the block of wood to help me, it means that I'm going nowhere near my fingers as I cut down. I want to be careful that I don't take too much off in the wrong place, but as I work my way down, I can cut a little bit more off at a time. Let's just put it on this side. Okay, so now I've cut that away, I'm going to just move the block of wood away, and what I'm going to do now, you've got to be really careful when you do this. I'm going to hold my thumb just here and I'm going to start cutting inwards, just very gently. And I'm not doing big chunks, I'm doing very thin slithers. And then I cut those slithers away. So you can see I've got that little wedge just here appearing. Well, as you can see there, slight slip, and I've taken a bit off there, so you've really got to pay attention when you do this. Any holes and gaps that are left, I can fill this later on with a modelling putty. So I'll just put this breastplate back on so we can see exactly where it is. You can see that's starting to sort itself out. So I'm going to tidy this up a little bit now. If you had a file or something similar, you could actually file this back. I don't have a file on me at the moment, so it's trusty blade all the way. So as I'm doing this, I'm twisting the blade so I can start to get this collar in place. And it's one of those things, take your time, don't rush it. You don't want to ruin your model either. Okay, so let's position the breastplate on there. And I've got a few different heads that I want to try out. So I'm just going to pop that one in. Actually, I really like that bald head. So we can see that fits in there quite nicely. So a little bit more tidying up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the flat of the blade just to smooth this off. Tidy up this top section. Okay, let's put the blade down now. Okay, so I've taken a lot of that head out for now. What I am going to do, I'm going to glue this breastplate in place now. As you can see with the helmeted head, I'd need to shave more off of this to make that fit. I can do it as I can still get my blade in to shave bits out. However, I do like the idea of the bald head in this. As you can now see, I can position this head pretty much wherever I want. As I don't know what arms I'm going to put on this yet, I'm not going to glue the head in place for now. So there we go. This is the second request video I've done. If you do have any other requests for videos or things that you'd like to see, please put them in the comments, let me know. I hope that you found this interesting. I'm John, I'm the Warhammer Modeler. Stay safe.